Can everyone see the screen okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
awesome. So thank you guys for joining me today. I'm here to talk to you all about ScanSource. Before I jump into that though, I just want to give a brief introduction about myself to get started. So my name is Abby Blackwell. I am the HR specialist at ScanSource. In my role specifically, I specialize in college and university relations and recruiting. So you can typically find me speaking at career fairs, going to classes and talking to students, or hosting workshops. So that's really my role. And ultimately, I do all those things so that we can help build a pipeline of talent for our internship program, as well as for full-time opportunities. Today, I'm just going to touch on a couple things. So really, who is ScanSource? What do we do? What does the company culture look like? And then opportunities that we have at ScanSource. And I'll also be going through what our application process looks as well, and go into the interview process. And then we'll end it just with a Q&A. So who is ScanSource? So we are a leading global provider of technology solutions and services. So I know that's a really broad statement, and I'll be explaining more in the next slide what exactly that means. But if you look below, these are some of the devices that we actually sell. So we sell point of sale and barcode, networking and security type devices, communications, and more recently, we've also started selling cloud-based solutions and services. So what do we do? So we are a two-tier technology distributor, and this picture right here really gives a full encompassing example of what exactly we do, and I'll be explaining this. So at ScanSource, we purchase technology products directly from manufacturers. Some of those manufacturers could be Cisco, Sony, Honeywell, LG, Panasonic, Microsoft, you name it, we probably purchase from them. We purchase from several hundred different technology manufacturers. And once we acquire these technology products, we then turn around and sell these technology products, what we call a reseller. So a reseller could be anything like zones. So again, we have a lot of different resellers that we sell to. And then the reseller then turns around and sells the technology product to what we call an end user. So an end user could be a retail store, a hospital, a school. But as you see in this example below, we are not selling directly to that Starbucks per se. Again, we're selling to that reseller. And a lot of times students look at this example and they go, well, why is ScanSource there? If there's already a reseller and a technology provider, what is ScanSource really providing? So that's a great question. So it's really all based on what type of customer we are directly targeting. So if you look at zones, for example, we don't really have the time or the money to provide solutions outside of sales. So zones is really focused on just selling the technology equipment. So when they get that technology equipment, they just want to push it out. So they don't have things like marketing support, IT support, finance support, customer service support to be able to provide to their customers and provide to themselves. So that's really where ScanSource is able to come into play, because although we are a technology provider, we also want to be an all-encompassing solution for our customers. So when Zones comes to ScanSource, they can say, hey, we're looking for this Sony equipment. We'd really like to purchase it from you. And because they purchase technology products from ScanSource, we then open it up and allow them to use our marketing departments, our finance departments, and IT departments to support them as well. So although, again, we are a technology provider, we don't want them to have to go out and find another third-party provider for their marketing support or IT support. And that's really where ScanSource comes into play, because we're able to be that overall solution for our customers. But I also don't want to leave out our end users in this example. It's always really important to kind of see where our products that we sell end up in the long run. So take Starbucks, for example. If you're to walk into a Starbucks, you may look at the barista and see her checking out a customer with a barcode scanner. You may then look at the back of the store and see Wi-Fi being broadcast to the patrons at the store, or even look at the ceiling and see a dome-shaped camera filming the patrons at the store. So those are just a couple of the products that we sell and where they end up in the long run. But now I kind of want to get into the fun part of who ScanSource is, because obviously our company culture is really what attracts people to ScanSource. I don't think a lot of kids, growing up say, I want to get into technology distribution in the future. Even a lot of college students don't exactly know what that is. So it really is our company culture that really does sell us to a lot of full-time employees. So I can happily say that we are one of the best places to work in South Carolina for the past 6 consecutive years. Again, we were awarded that for 2020, so that's something that we're really proud of. And this is where I'm really going to talk about why we are one of the best places to work. So if you look at the far left picture, It says work hard, play hard. So at ScanSource, we are a very work hard, play hard type of environment. And what I mean by that is we understand, you need to be doing your work and you're needing to be doing it very well and to your best of ability and getting it done on time. But we also understand that your job can be really stressful. You need to be able to have that work-life balance, because if you don't, you're going to be becoming so stressed that you're going to start making mistakes in your work, in your day-to-day. So it is important to have those breaks and to have that relaxation. And I think this picture kind of explains it really perfectly. That's actually a picture of many of our managers at ScanSource. And even they understand, that's in the middle of the day. You need to have that time to be able to goof off and really get to know your coworkers and have a great time. And I think ScanSource does a great job of this. I know there are several times when they brought in snow cone trucks to come and give us all snow cones in the middle of the day. We have something called Office Olympics that happens during the summer. It's a week that really exemplifies the work hard, play hard type of environment. So each department is broken down into different teams and they all compete for an Office Olympic Cup. My favorite game that I saw them do during Office Olympics last summer, it was grown men on these small little tricycles riding around through the whole building, and it was a race. So it's things like that where, we understand, again, that you need to be working, but again, that week really explains it perfectly, where we have a great time, but we also get our work done and we get it done to the best of our ability. Then moving on to community involvement, this is really what brought me to ScanSource. I think it's a great thing that we have, which is our charitable foundation. So ScanSource is really big on giving back to the community that we're in. So we're located in Greenville, South Carolina, and the charitable board is a great way to get involved with different volunteer opportunities within our community. So for our charitable foundation, we encourage employees to give through money donations, or they can also give with their time if they do not have money to donate. So you could be going to schools and reading to children. You could be helping with a fire station. We have a lot of different ways, again, for our employees to really volunteer and give back to our community. And the last being that wellness is really a priority at ScanSource. This is another really great added bonus that we give all of our employees. So if you see in that picture to the far right, that's actually us opening our on-site wellness clinic. So this wellness clinic is overseen by two Prisma Health nurse practitioners, and it is completely free to all ScanSource employees and their spouses. It essentially operates like a minute clinic. So if you're feeling sick that day, you can call down to the wellness center and they will get you in as soon as possible. And the great thing about this, not only, again, is it free, but you know that when you're going down there, you're not going to be surrounded by a lot of different sick people that you don't know. You're either going to be the only one in there, or it's going to be, again, someone else from ScanSource. So it's a place where you can feel really comfortable. Another thing, and I don't have a picture of this, but we also have two on-site gym facilities. So we have one gym that's fully loaded. It has treadmills, ellipticals, weights, anything you could need, we have in that gym. I've never heard anyone complain about them not being able to find equipment that they need to be able to work out. The second gym is more of an open floor plan. So this is where we actually host our Zumba and yoga classes. So we host Zumba and yoga on Monday through Friday, and they alternate. So we may have Zumba on Monday, yoga on Tuesday, and then vice versa. And these classes are done during lunch as well as after work. So again, this is a great way if you really need to take a break from work to be able to do this during lunch. I understand working out for some people is relaxing. It's not for me, but to each their own. But it is a great opportunity to, one, be able to release stress, but also it's a great way to network with people. I've heard countless stories where someone will be participating in a Zumba class, and then they'll look to the right and see a marketing director right beside them. So it's a great way, again, to get to know other people within our company. And then the last wellness initiative that I'll really talk about is the hiking trail that we have behind our facility. So we actually have a mile-long hiking trail with water features, picnic tables. I've heard it's really beautiful. Some people will even take their meetings out there. It's just another way for us to give our employees a space to relax and really get outside of that cubicle environment. So how did we get here? So obviously we didn't get from, nothing to having all of these gyms and this wellness clinic. We didn't get there automatically. It started from the bottom with actually 6 people. So we started with 6 employees, and one of those being our CEO, Mike Bauer. So Mike Bauer has been our CEO for 18 years. So he's been with the company since the beginning, and he really is a great leader. The second is by growing. So we primarily grown through acquisitions. We've also become publicly traded in 1994 and a part of the Fortune 1000. But I really want to touch on those acquisitions because this is where a lot of our opportunities are going to be moving forward. So these are acquisitions: RPM, NT, Intelisys, and POS Portal. We were able to acquire these companies within the past couple of years, mainly to expand our digital footprint. So at ScanSource, we're always looking for the next and newest technology to really add to our product line to be able to provide those best solutions and services for our customers. And I want to really touch on Intelisys. So Intelisys got us into cloud-based solutions and services. And this is where a lot of our full-time opportunities are going to be moving forward because it is a really fast-growing side of our business. The last three on how did we get here, so go big. So if you listened to me earlier talk about the different companies that we purchased from, they're not small brands, they're very recognizable. That's really what we want to be able to add to our line card. So Panasonic, Honeywell, Cisco, Sony, Microsoft, and Square, we're always looking for the best and newest technology to, again, provide the best solutions and services for our customers. And then the last is really stemming from our core values. ScanSource really does live and breathe by all of its core values. You're able to find those on our website if you'd like to look at them further. But they are the cornerstone of every decision that we make as a company. And I think if you're really interested in ScanSource, looking at these core values is really the first step to take. Because the core values are really what we're looking for in all of our employees. Many times when we hire people on, we find that they really already live and breathe these core values because they did their research into the company, saw that their values align with our values. I mean, it is a really easy match in hiring that person on. So how can you get to ScanSource? So we have several opportunities available currently. The first being our internship program. So our internship program happens during the summer. To be eligible for our internship program, you have to be a rising senior in college. So right now you would be a junior and you would participate in the summer internship program this coming summer before going into your senior year of college. What our internship program looks like, it's a 10-week program that happens during the summer. You are working Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. It's a full-time opportunity and it is paid. It is a lot of hands-on learning. So if you just want to get coffee or make copies on a printer, this is definitely not the job for you. You're going to be doing a lot of hands-on work in the department that you're interested in. And I know I can speak for myself. So I was actually an intern 2 summers ago, and I was in HR. So the first week I did a lot of shadowing, just sat in on meetings, thought that's kind of how my summer was going to go. I'd be helping with little projects here and there. But the second weekend, my manager sat me down and he said, okay, you've had a week to get adjusted. Are you ready to start interviewing candidates for full-time employment? Which absolutely shocked me because I wasn't expecting to do that until probably later in the summer at least. But this is really consistent across all of our interns. I know the woman who was in the role before me, she was a marketing intern, and at the beginning of the summer, she was given a several $100,000 marketing campaign to completely oversee by herself and then push it into the market. And that marketing campaign was actually used several years even after her internship program had ended. So again, we're giving you really meaningful work because we want you to be able to help us with projects we need help on, but we also want to help you build your resume because really that's what's going to make you stand out in the future in getting a job at ScanSource or getting a job at any other company as well. Along with that, our program, we do offer mentorship opportunities. So you're provided a mentor in a department that's different from your own. And it's a great way to get an overview of ScanSource as a whole outside of just your own department. And then I also want to touch on our professional growth opportunities that we also do have in our internship program because this is a really big thing. Ultimately, we want to build you into the best employee that you can be for ScanSource, but we also understand that, at the end of your internship program, you may decide to go in a completely different direction. And in that case, we still want you to be the best professional that you can be. So these HR building workshops are a great way to do that. An example of these, it could be anything from as easy and simple as resume building to branding yourself on LinkedIn to networking, interviewing. My personal favorite is our etiquette luncheon. So it's a 4-course meal and you learn how to eat in a business environment. It's a great opportunity, a lot of fun. And then the final thing that we do require all of our interns to complete is a presentation to the CEO. So you're actually partnered with people at the beginning of the summer with other interns with a case study about ScanSource and a business problem. You're given all summer to work on this case study, and at the end, you present it to the CEO as well as other executives managers and vice presidents of the company. All in all, it's around 150 people all in a room to listen to you speak. And they really do care. They don't just come for the free food. They come because they really understand that our internship program helps build and grow the next leaders for our company. And our CEO, again, is a great example of that. He sits at the very front and takes pictures of every slide of every person, and he follows up afterwards with really meaningful questions. So I think that just goes to prove that we are very invested in our interns. For full-time employment, the best thing that I can say is to keep checking back at ScanSource.com. So we hire on an as-needed basis. What that means is the jobs that are posted currently, we are looking to hire immediately. So if you're graduating in December of this year, you should probably start looking at our job board around the end of October, because those are the roles that you're going to be eligible to apply for. So typically our hiring process takes around 2 months to fully hire someone into a role. So you should really not be looking until the end of October. For our May graduates, you should probably start looking around the end of March on our job board. Again, our job board changes from day to day, so I typically just tell people to check back maybe every 3 weeks to see if there's new roles posted. But looking forward into our application process for both the internship and full-time opportunities, because I really think this is important to kind of see how it is, because when I was going through the internship application process, I felt like I just kept getting interview after interview, and when is this going to end? So we always like to be transparent and letting students know kind of what that looks like and what you should prepare for. So obviously the first thing you should do is to apply to whatever role you're interested in, whether that's the internship or full-time opportunity. From there, someone on our recruitment team, so either Joey or myself, will reach out on scheduling a phone screen. This phone screen is really just to get to know a little bit about your work experience and what you've done in the past. From there, you move forward. We share our notes with the hiring managers, and if the hiring manager sees something they like in your resume or in the interview, they move forward with having a video call with the hiring manager. Typically, it would be in person. However, we're still working from home. So right now, everything is done over Microsoft Teams, which is the platform we use for all of our interviews. So that interview is with the hiring manager. And from there, if he or she believes that you are a great candidate, then you interview with the team that you'd be working on. So we're obviously really big about teamwork at ScanSource. So making sure that you're clicking with the team that you're going to be put on is really important, because every single day you're going to be working with these people very closely. But that's really the application process as a whole. The next slide is just my contact information. I'm really great on reaching out to students and following up if you have any questions. So please feel free to reach out and email me if you have any follow-up questions, and connect with me on LinkedIn as well. That's the best way for you to be able to see the opportunities that we have at ScanSource, as well as for me to be able to follow up with you. But with that, I'll stop sharing my slides and just open it up for anyone if anyone has any questions.